Parliament is set to hand over the site to the Development Agency, the Development Bank of Southern Africa, on Monday. This will allow the process of rubble removal to begin. An assessment will then be undertaken to determine the scale and cost of the restoration of the burnt buildings.
The refurbishment project is planned to be completed in 24 months with a period of 6 months that deals with snagging as well as the liability phase for any other matters that may happen.
2 billion rand has been set aside to fund the restoration project, but there are also unforeseen costs in the interim.
There are unforeseen expenditures that are occasioned by the absence of operating facilities. In that regard, we need to operate on-site, off-site, hybrid, including the destruction of broadcasting capability of Parliament that has been impacted. So Treasury allocated an additional 118 million rand to enable Parliament to do remedial work.
Some MPs have urged that there should be no runaway costs.
With a figure of 2 billion rand, one would assume that that would be more or less a set in stone price. So if there is going to be more than 2 billion rand, it is a concern for me.
In infrastructure or in construction, this is where we tend to lose a lot of money. As soon as jobs have commenced, we then get escalation. We didn't realize this will happen and that will happen and all those things.
Once rubble is moved out and the project scoping in terms of heritage requirements, as well as modifications that we need to make sure that the chamber is all-encompassing in terms of capacity, may as well variable lead to higher cost or may invariable result in containment within the 2 billion. That can only be confirmed when detailed designs in terms of work package number 3 outlined in the roadmap is actually confirmed by the agent.
Parliament has also denied that it's dragging its feet to complete the project, saying the institution was a crime scene until June last year and the budget allocations were announced in October last year.
No work could have begun before a budget allocation had been done, whilst negotiations were on between ourselves and National Treasury and DPWI. No work could have been done. And secondly, as I say, you couldn't have gone in there, even if you had been allocated money, for as long as you had the police and other people were investigating the matter, for as long as the site had been declared a crime scene.
The Oversight Committee says it wants quarterly reports on the progress of the restoration project. Xolile Philip, SABC News, Parliament.